what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rise. We're back here at Moss Acura North Tampa, and guess what? I have that one iconic name badge from Acura that goes just as far back as the actual brand itself. What am I talking about? I'm talking about this vehicle right here. This is it. This is a 2025 Acura Integra A-Spec. But before we get into this, like I said, very iconic name, and guess what? We have a 6-speed manual transmission Integra. Let's talk about what's going on here. So the year was 1986. That was the birth of the Integra, and we didn't have a Type R version for a couple years. Once the Type R version came out, that really was a game changer. Now, when they came out with this generation of Integra, a lot of people were bummed out. They thought that this was going to be a Type R version. Well, obviously, we know what their plan was back then, was to come out with the Integra and the Integra A-Spec, but then eventually bring the Type S. Well, the Type S cost $54,000. Quite a bit of money, especially by today's standards. So what I want to find out is, if you're looking for a more affordable, not saying that this is the most affordable, but a more affordable option, and you want a manual transmission, and you want some sporty, fun driving experience, is this A-Spec the way to go? Why don't we go ahead, let's dive into ours and find out. Right off the bat, black just looks really good on this car, especially the black that they use from Acura, because it's got a ton of metal flake in it. Very, very nice kind of pop to the color when the sun hits it. Now, as we drop down, you are going to get that signature LED daytime running lamp. They call that chicane daytime running lamp. And we have our multi-jewel LED beam headlights. Love the way they have that classic stamping of the Integra name. And to give it an extra functional appearance, you do have functional corner air curtains and LED fog lamps. So this is something that a lot of cars, especially in this class, they kind of just stick things on just to make it look cool, but it doesn't do anything. Everything on the front end of this vehicle actually has a purpose to it. Now, as we come across that front grille, you have that massive Acura badge with full functionality of our upper grille. Love the way that Acura specific design philosophy with the little peak in the center. Down below, fully functional as well, and you'll notice the bright silver of an intercooler, because remember, this Integra, even though it's not a Type S, is turbocharged and intercooled. The way that they kind of sculpt that lower grille opening gives it a nice sporty look. And because our particular one is black, all the black trim just blends in. It just melts away and looks all one specific color. But let me know what you think about the front end of this Integra A-Spec. Now, as we rise up, that nice peak goes into the hood. Clean body lines really gives it that standout from the rest of the competitors. Now, as we come around the bend, what do we work with wheel and tire setup? So you are going to get the shark gray wheels, split spoke wheel all the way around. This is an 18-inch wheel, and the shark gray just matches nicely with the sparkle of the black paint. You do get a limited slip diff, which is very important in this type of car, a driver's car, especially with the manual transmission, having that limited slip diff. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what's the tire size? 235 on the width, 40 series sidewall. And like I said, this is front wheel drive. It's not all wheel drive, it's not rear wheel drive, front wheel drive with the limited slip diff. Now, coming down the side, you do have your A-Spec badge, always looking good. Painted mirror caps with your LED turn signals. You do get a sunroof. So those of you who are thinking Type S and you're like, I don't like the Type S because it doesn't have a sunroof, the A-Spec does have a sunroof, color matched on your door handles, and then everything is painted all the way down to the bottom below the doors. Now, as we work towards our rear, love the way you have the quarter glass. And another thing I like about the Integra is that sportback design. So this rear portion lifts up. I wouldn't necessarily call it a hatchback. It's more of a sportback, and it gives it a nice sporty look. Now, as we come around the back, same thing with the rear fenders. The way they run the body line off the rear passenger doors into the quarter panels, full LED lighting, just like up front. Even the way they put this nice trunk lid spoiler or hatch spoiler. Gives it that nice extra sporty look. And then there's those historical touches. The way that they cut this little notch here, that's all Acura Integra going back to 1986. Same thing with the Integra name stamped in there. And as we get down to ground level, you're gonna get a very simple rear diffuser, but you are getting stainless steel tips, oval opening, stainless steel tips on both sides to give you a little bit of sound coming out of that engine compartment when you go on throttle. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood of this Integra A-Spec and see what's powering it. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have a prop rod. I'm not gonna zonk it because a lot of other cars in this price point have prop rods. Underneath the hood, you can see the coil packs, 1, 2, 3, 4. That means we have a 4-cylinder engine, turbochargers mounted up front, not a lot of plastic covering things. That's what a modern engine looks like today with the spaghetti setup of hoses, wires, and cables. Now, what do we actually have? It's a 1.5 liter turbocharged inline four putting out 200 horsepower, 192 pound-feet of torque. Ours is mated to a 6-speed manual, but if you don't know how to drive manual, you can get an automatic. The bad news is it is a CVT. 0 to 60, if you know how to do the dance, in about 6.8 seconds. Top speed 135 miles an hour. It weighs 3,062 pounds, and MPGs, you're gonna come out pretty good. 26 in the city, 36 on the highway. But like I said, for those that don't want to go all in and go Type S, this is definitely a more affordable option. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire it up and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we are inside this 2025 Acura Integra A-Spec. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I'm glad that you're filming this car. I don't care what anybody says. I love the Integra, whether it's the regular Integra or the Type S. I can't afford a Type S, but how much is this A-Spec? Because I'm really, really curious. Very good question. MSRP for the way that this one is optioned is right at $39,000. That's about $14,000 less than a Type S. But let's see what you get when you go Integra A-Spec to the door panels. Love, love, love the two-tone material. The black soft touch up top, that ELS Studio 3D sound system, the premium sound system with those great looking speaker grill covers. And then I love the red, the atomic fireball red. No gloss black around any of the controls. Door pocket is pretty decent. You'll probably be able to get 2 Nathan's hot dogs and a Nathan's corn on the cob, plus a bottle of root beer to wash it down. Now, going from the door panel to the dash, I'm totally fine with this trim. It's better than gloss black, hides the fingerprints. You have nice soft touch material. You slide on in, you're gonna get that 9-inch infotainment system, all the familiar apps and everything that you're used to with Honda vehicles. But what I love is when you go into the different modes, that's when things get nice with the graphics there, comfort, and then of course you hit individual, and this is where you can set up all your preferences and customize your own mode just for you. But you know us, we're gonna keep it in sport. Let me throw it into reverse. Backup camera does take up all 9 inches, but it's on the grainy side. I mean, there's no way around it. You do have trajectory, which is nice, and you have your 3 different camera views. And then we're right back where we started. Dual climate control, 3 stages of heated seats, no ventilated seats at all on any Integra, believe it or not, even the Type S, USB-A, USB-C, and a 12-volt. You do have your wireless charging. My favorite part, the part that I wake up for every single morning, is that 6-speed manual transmission. One of the best in the business. Love the aluminum shift knob with the leather and the gear pattern, the red stitching. A little bit of gloss black, but you're really not going to touch that. Next to the shifters where you have all your controls for your different drive modes and everything, and your electric e-brake. 2 large cup holders. You do have your nice Acura key fob, always looking good. That soft red. Open it up. You could probably put in there, I would say, I think you could put about 12 cans of tuna. So let me tell you what's going on with Steven. He's trying to bulk up. He needs lots of protein. So basically what he's doing to cut costs but get maximum protein is literally eating tuna fish right out of a can. Star-Kissed tuna. Bumblebee tuna. So he's going to like that because he's going to be able to get his can opener in there and a bunch of cans of tuna and just gobble it up. Make sure if you ever see Steven in public, just don't get too close to him when he talks. That's all I got to say. Seats, the nice leather, the Alcantara all red, electric assist for the passenger, electric assist for the driver, and we have that standard size sunroof. Now think about that. Two things the Type S doesn't have, a sunroof and a power passenger seat. But why don't you come over here to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel of this A-Spec Integra. All right guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have 2 memory seat settings for the driver's seat. Love the aluminum sill plate with the A-Spec badge. Pedal box is great. Aluminum clutch, brake, and throttle. And yes, you can heel toe downshift if you want to in this vehicle. The sad news is you just get a plastic dead pedal, so that's a big zonk. But I do love the seat controls, easy to get to. Seats are very comfortable. I'm 6 feet tall, plenty of room, even with the sunroof. Steering wheel, they do a great job, what can I say? The red baseball style stitching, the A-Spec badge, thumb controls, all flat black. It is a manual tilting and telescoping wheel. And then you have that 10.25-inch digital gauge cluster, which you can scroll through a cornucopia of information within the gauges. Plus, when you go through your different modes, it also changes color as well. But like I said, we're keeping it sport. And there's a 5.5-inch head-up display. That's another thing the Type S doesn't have. But let's get into the back seat and see if your passenger is going to be happy in this Integra. All right, guys, back seat time. And this is another area where the Integra just does a great job. Lots of room back here. Remember, I'm 6 feet tall. Plenty of room back here. No pocket behind the driver's seat. So you make sure if you have something that you don't want squished, maybe like a jelly-filled donut from Dunkin' Donuts. You know, Steven loves the apple and spice donuts from Dunkin' Donuts. So he's going to want to sit here because you could easily put 4 of them back here. You do have USB-Cs, which is nice, but there are no AC vents back here, which is a zonk. But like I said, the seat quality is great. Pull this bad boy down. It's like a big tongue, nice and soft. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in that rear hatch area and see what we can put there in this Integra. All right, guys, cargo area time. And this is where I don't care what you want to say about the Integra, styling-wise or driving-wise. When it comes to cargo, it kicks butt. On the passenger side, you have your ELS Studio 3D subwoofer. On the driver's side, we do have, of course, our Twinkie box cargo net for when you're at the racetrack. But how much room do you really have? It's actually going to blow your mind. You have a total of 24 cubic feet of space with the seats up. Of course, the seats fold down, and they fold down so easily. You just take them and you flip them down. Now, normally I would have the seat moved already, but because I forgot to move it, the seat didn't fold down all the way. But there you go. There's the proof that the seat folds down. They call that the 60-40 split. So that's going to even maximize your space even more. But I don't care about seats folding, really. What I care about is what the on-throttle experience is all about. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go road through some gears in this A-Spec. All right, guys, we're leaving Moss Acura North Tampa. We're in this 2025 Acura Integra A-Spec. And right away, I mean, the car is fun to drive. Bottom line, it's a fun car to drive. And that really just, I don't know, it's one of those vehicles that even though it doesn't have a ton of horsepower, even though it's not the Type S, it's still a fun car to drive. And I think that's something that a lot of people missed out on because they were so critical of the car when it first came out a couple years ago. Getting to the 9-inch infotainment system is well within reach. Obviously, you can see how easy it is to touch it because I just accidentally turned on the radio. You have your dual climate control, the heated seats, that wireless charging, and then, of course, the 6-speed. it is one of the best manual transmissions that are still available today. The thing you're gonna like about the Integra, especially if you are gonna daily drive it, is the clutch is not heavy at all. It's not heavy at all. It's got a good pickup point. Yeah, there's some rev hang that you gotta work around, but other than that, it's still really, really great to drive. Seats are comfy, they're supportive, and it's just an overall very balanced car. You know, you look at the weight of it, it's a little over 3,000 pounds. A lot of other cars are very, very heavy when it gets to luxury style cars. This is still fairly light on her feet. Good steering. That's something that Honda and Acura always does, is they have really, really good steering in their vehicles. And even the brakes, nice and balanced. They feel good. But the best part is that you have the limited slip diff. That really, to me, is what makes the most sense in this car, because it just allows you to get the power to the ground very, very effectively. I'm going to show you how easy it is to make a U-turn in this thing. Watch how easy this is. Da, 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 da. Are you ready? On throttle, here we go! I love the way the tach flashes red when you get close to red line, just to give you an extra visual there to let you know to shift. You are getting some pumped in sounds, but it's really evenly matched with the acceleration of the vehicle, and it doesn't sound too obnoxious, which is good. You don't want this sound to just be totally fake and it's loud and annoying. This has a nice balance to it. Dash is easy to read, and of course you got the head-up display. But like I mentioned, you do have the automatic rev match downshift feature, which all you got to do is you take it and you just downshift, and it blips the throttle for you. Steering feels good. It pulls all the way to redline, which is awesome as well. But nice pedal placement, lots of room, even for people with bigger feet. And the throws to the transmission are nice, short, and crisp. It's not really rubbery like some BMW transmissions are. It's just a nicely balanced car. I mean, it does so many different things so very well. And even over things like bumps in the road. I mean, this is not a smooth road, and it's just really solid going down the road. Let's see how she handles. Nice, look at this. On throttle! Just gotta be careful of speed bumps. Don't want to go flying over them. But still, the suspension has a nice balance to help with the handling, but also keep things comfy as well. But like I said, the clutch modulation is really good. Visibility is great. And the way that it does the automatic rev match downshifts, it's very smooth. It keeps the chassis nice and stable, which is important. Like I said, look how nice it is. Pulling away from the stop sign. Gets the power to the ground, even though it's front wheel drive, gets the power to the ground very well. And just super smooth. And I love the feel of the steering wheel. I mean, not only the way that it communicates well through what the front end of the car is doing, but also just the overall feel itself is really, really nice. Look at this, very planted, feels good. And in this black, it's really, really good looking. And I normally don't really like black cars, but when they're clean and they're new, they look fantastic. You ready? On throttle, here we go. Look at that, look at this. Really, really nice. It's just a great car to drive. You drive it every day, you got all that cargo space, it's balanced. You got the ELS premium sound system, the Studio 3D sound system. All it's missing is our ventilated seats. That would really be the cherry on top. But other than that, you got more on the inside than the mighty Type S. But I hope that this has been a good overall review of what the Integra A-Spec is bringing for 2025. We're gonna get back and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, another great day in so many ways. Definitely want to thank Albert and the rest of the team here at Moss Acura North Tampa getting us this 2025 Integra A-Spec with a manual. Let me know what you think. For the price, is this the best way to go? Let me know in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of Raised Rides family. We got to give it to Stephen Flood, man. He really is the cat's meow. And cats are just dropping left and right because of his perfection behind the camera. So thank you, Stephen, for your hard work. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.